This is C Money, and I'm here with,
Mellow G.
and also Harmony Jones and Kenson Morris. Do you guys mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, no problem. I'm Kenson. I'm a senior at Stevenson. I'm a co-head of the Black Student Union, along with Harmony Jones.
Yeah, I'm Harmony. I'm an 11th grader, junior, also co head at BSU.
Thank you for having us.
hmm
No problem, no problem. And we have about 9 or 10 questions. You guys don't mind asking?
No
First
problem.
one: how long have you participated in BSU?
I started my freshman year, so like I said, I'm a junior, so that's been 3 years, and I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I've been a part of BSU since my freshman year as well. Throughout quarantine, it was pretty cool. Still being able to connect with new students virtually and get to know them as well. So since my freshman year.
Why did you decide to join BSU?
Um, that's a good question. I think uh, going to prestigiously white institution, um, having a grounded group of African Americans that I can rely on and go to for advice was something that was crucial. That I be a part of when I came here. I think no matter where you go, having African Americans, an African American network is important. So that's one of the main reasons why I joined.
Yeah, kind of the same reason here. Just a place of community that feels a little more safe than just out in the big Stevenson community. Just a spot where I can just honestly be myself and connect with people without having to like explain every detail of what I'm doing. Because there's some things you just walk into a room and you know everybody understands it. There is no need for like a full detail explanation on everything. So just a place where I don't have to. Not everything's so hyped up. I don't have to sit there and explain everything. I can just be there with no worries.
Okay, okay. Question number three: um, why? This one's directed towards you, Kenson. Like, why did you want to become a co-head of BSU? Like,
Um, I think one every year there's usually a junior BSU head as well as a senior BSU head, and having like especially one nobody really stepped up to the plate last year. I think coming out of COVID, a lot of people were kind of in their shell still, and I mean myself, I was a little bit and kind of out of touch, and people were focusing on academics, especially in my grade, as junior year was pretty like rigorous academically, college wise. Um, and I my senior year, I knew like I could take on the responsibility, and I was proud of being able to do it and running it with harmony, and it's been a great experience this year. So yeah.
Our fourth question is: what has BSU taught you or helped you understand about yourself or being in a community with other people?
That's a good question. I've kind of just learned more to be myself. I was really shy when I started coming to Stevenson, and it was just a great moment to be like, oh, okay, this is who I am, and I don't have to like try and hide that or be super shy or anything. I can just be myself with no worries, and I've kind of grown as a person, just being able to think like I can go back to a safe space whenever I need it. I can call a BSU meeting. I can call up some of my friends. Like, there's no reason for me to be afraid or anything like that. It's a good space for me to grow as a person and just really learn more about myself.
Yeah, definitely. It's very like it's open for everyone to be themselves. And especially my freshman year, I got to see the culmination of all the scenes, all I guess the whole BSU and where they came from. As a lot of them were from Chicago, Vegas, and different parts of the United States, and got to see their styles and what they liked. So definitely getting to know people and different African Americans, as we all come from different places and different backgrounds. So that's I think that was a huge relief to me, knowing that I can be myself. Seeing that other people who have gone the same route that I have done the same.
for sure, for sure. Question number five: how has being black or African American impact your time here at Stevenson negatively or positively?
Hmm. I think, goodness, it's a good question. I mean, it's just everywhere you go, it's going to be a different experience being black. It doesn't matter if you're at school or at a job or just hanging out in any community you could think of. There's going to be something that you're going to have to face being black. Um, I think at Stevenson, a really positive aspect of that is that I can explain things to people, and I can educate people without having to be so like worried about it. Like, oh, okay, I can just tell you about my hair, then it's not an issue. Then I don't have to worry about it anymore. And just like there's such a positive aspect about being able to explain things so it's not just a concern when you're walking around. So I feel a little bit safer knowing that, especially after the announcements we made during Black History Month, just knowing like I've told people, so from now on everything should be okay. And if it's not, I am ready to keep moving forward with it.
Yeah.
What is the hardest part of running BSU as a student leader?
Um, as a student leader, um, I've taken leadership roles in the past, and this year, being a head prefect as well as a prefect in Wilson last year, um, and being one of the heads of the Green Key Ambassadors program. Um, so I think the school really does a good job in engaging their students into becoming student leaders, and encouraging them to do so by small volunteering acts and just being a kind person. I think everyone here is capable of being a leader, and the school believes it. They just even if they haven't seen it, they still believe in you to be a leader. So I definitely think the be having the knowledge of leadership and kind of just being able to like go into a situation and be able to organize yourself, especially with the BSU. And you got a lot of rowdy freshmen who come in and try to, just in general. So trying to just maintain control and make sure we all have the same goal and same path, and try to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Okay, okay, for sure, for sure. Great answer, Kenson. How long has BSU been an affinity group at Stevenson, and were there like different versions of BSU? I know like with like the classes switching out and there being new people coming in. How has it changed?
So, in my opinion, I actually don't know how long the Black Student Union has been going on here. That's a great question to ask. um,
Actually, I think it's about 5 or 6 years now.
oh, really?
Yeah. I asked Dr. M this morning because I saw that and I was like, yeah. She said maybe 5 or 6 years, but it's just been changing and changing. Like we can kind of set the pace for what we want to see as BSU. So, what what it was 5 years ago is probably not the same as it is now. I wouldn't know. I wasn't here, but um, it's an open space for us to change it however we need to.
Yeah.
Our second to last question is, what do you think BSU helps to teach slash educate other students about Black culture and identities, in particularly those on campus who might not know why BSU is important?
Um, I think definitely having showcasing our voice is the biggest thing. Um, you know, when you I get when you go to a school that the numbers of people is not really that high. I don't know the exact number of African Americans at our school or people who identify as African American, but making sure that you're still heard amongst that crowd is difficult. But we use the platforms that the school allows us to showcase and you know teach and educate others on the experiences we go through day to day here and in the real world as well. So, yeah. You have any
Mhm.
words about it?
Yeah, no, that's great. Just a really good place to educate the community. Just, I don't know, help everyone else out around us. BSU, as much as it is just a spot for us to gather and collect ourselves and just be able to enjoy one another, we also have a little bit of a job to help this community because I don't want to leave here knowing that the freshman that's coming after me is going to be like, oh, that was weird. I don't know what I should do about it. Like, I want to make sure there's a way for them to do what they need to do and have help in whatever way they need it.
And I think, especially as Harmony said, now knowing that 5, 6 years it's been around, I think we're still in the early building process.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because now we're represented. Now, how can we start helping the school recruit African American students to create a little bit larger of a body of African American students, to make it feel more comfortable for us. And I think with that comes educating teachers on microaggressions as they do occur, with teachers. Not often, but they do occur. Can't say they don't. But I think pushing to have teachers and students reminded of how their small words can actually mean a lot more than what they're actually saying. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Question number 9. If any, what kind of changes have you seen at Stevenson since being in BSU?
Oh, I've seen a lot of good changes actually. Just from, I mean, that month of February was really important to just be on stage and tell people, like, there was a whole bunch of lessons that people, they seem common knowledge, but they weren't really actually well known, just about hair and style and music and language. And I know after I wrote those and I made those announcements, I had teachers come up to me and tell me that they didn't know that and they were thankful that they did now. Um, I had another teacher actually come up to me after the Super Bowl and she saw, I think it was Mary J. Blige on stage, and she was questioning. She was like, I was wondering how she got her hair to look like that and then changed her outfit so quickly. And then I remembered what you said, and I was like, that's not my place to think about it. And I was like, you're right. Like, I'm glad you realized that, and I'm glad that I was able to help you with that. And just like to see that it's the teachers as well who are kind of getting in on this now is really great because, they're the adults on campus, they're the ones you go to. And to know that now they have the knowledge of those things is really important.
Yeah, and I definitely think as a lot of people, I guess teachers, as time moves on and time progresses, I think this is kind of the last wave of not old head teachers, but I guess like older generational teachers in that teaching style. I feel like a lot more modern and younger and you know cool pace. I guess moving teachers are going to be, and recognizing, especially with a lot of movements going on and having COVID, to be able to reflect on a lot of things that have happened, how the world has changed in the past couple of years is something that'll continually see. And I think microaggressions are never going to go away, but they'll definitely die down a lot more.
Our final question is, what kinds of things do you feel were important to educate the community about regarding black hair and black clothing?
That's good. I already kind of touched on it, but yeah,
Yeah.
just just respect about it. Just this is how it is, and there's no reason why I can't exist that way. There's no reason why I can't wear my hair that way or look that way, and you just need to be aware of it so I can feel comfortable and safe here at Stevenson because it's about everyone feeling safe and comfortable, not just the majority of people. So just being aware that the minorities on campus are having a different experience than the others. So being aware that, how they feel is still very important and just as important as how everyone else feels on campus as well.
Yeah, I think the BSU really tries to, in the past, especially to make it inclusive for everyone to learn about our culture. In the past, we've had dances. We've hosted a dance and had a potential dance sophomore year, but COVID had canceled that. But hopefully, we can get that in the running, as it is good funding for the Black Student Union here at Stevenson, as well as a fun experience for the students to be able to experience our music, and our culture, our dances, and not and be able to immerse in it in a way that's fun and engaging, rather than being taught in a classroom. Yeah.
Well, that wraps up all our questions. Thank you, Kenson and Harmony, for coming on our show.
Problem.
This is KSPB 91.9 Pebble Beach FM. I'm here with
Mellow G.
and C Money. Peace.